welcome collective. Thank you guys very much for joining me today. Let's go ahead and get started with your tarot read today. So I'm sure you've noticed we're doing something just a little bit different here. I'm just going to show you sort of the cards today, a little bit more of that, a little bit less of me, so you can sort of keep up with what's going on and get a good look at these cards. I got a new deck, fresh deck we're going to work with today. I'll plunk that guy to the side. So this one's Empath Oracle. So we'll get started with this guy, and I want to grab sort of some energy cards for you first. Deal with the energies around the collective, or that the collective is dealing with or feeling themselves, please, Spirit. The first one that came forward, establishing emotional boundaries. That's an interesting card to pop forward, guys. So I wonder if somebody's struggling with this a little bit. Maybe somebody who they're dealing with, or they're worried about somebody taking advantage of them, or having trouble maybe speaking their truth or standing up for themselves. I keep getting this weird feeling in my throat. So I do feel like we're dealing with the throat chakra in this read, and something that somebody is struggling to find balance in. I'm going to plunk them up here. I'm going to let one or two more fall out. That one wanted to come out. And we had a few here. So we'll keep going with the energies here. Transforming empathic absorptions. So I gotta tell you, whoever this read is for, this person might be an empath. And part of this emotional boundaries, you might be actually taking on other people's emotions and not realizing it, being in sort of a bad mood, or feeling sad or depressed without really a reason to, or feeling very angry or a lot of anxiety. And it might not even be your emotions. You might be picking up on a lot of what other people are going through, and you're sort of bringing it into your own life, and it's causing an imbalance for you too. Expressing artistic creativity. So you might be somebody who is very creative. This doesn't necessarily speak to, painting or drawing. This might be writing. This might be music. This is whatever you do to sort of help to decompress and express emotions. Hell, for some of you, this might even be journaling. Like, whatever this is, this may also help you to sort of sort through what you're feeling, and to be able to identify whether this is your emotions or somebody else's. And so it's very important to sort of dig into whatever that is that sort of not just feeds your soul, but helps you to express yourself and sort of release these emotions. It'll help you to work through them and maybe even put them into words, because let's face it, sometimes we feel things, but we don't know how to say what we're feeling. And this might be a good way for someone to be able to do that, to be able to sort of focus in on what it is, to put it into words, and then to be able to express it to themselves and maybe other people as well. Releasing emotional weight, see? We're letting go, we're releasing, we're expressing. So whatever this is that you do, like this creative side of yourself, it's important to start making time for this on a regular basis. Like I said, it's like a way of venting your emotions, a way of releasing ones that don't belong to you, identifying ones that do, and sorting through them. Breaking the chain of repeating cycles. This might be something you've struggled with your entire life. Maybe you haven't been able to put it quite into words or put it quite into focus. It's just sort of something you've always kind of felt, like taking on other people's crap, or feeling these heavy weights and not being able to sort of release them or sort through them. As the cards are saying, and Spirit is saying, it's time for a change. It's time to start doing things differently. So you can start releasing this, because I keep feeling like whatever this is that you're going through, I feel a real heaviness in it. I feel a real heaviness in whatever these emotions are that you've been carrying around. So there's a need to very much release this and let go of it. Engaging with fears and doubts. So you are being encouraged to sort of look at what you're going through. You're being encouraged to look that darkness in the face. I do think that this self-expression is very much going to help with that. So like I said, it's allowing you to focus on sort of what's going on around you, instead of kind of all the craziness in life. It allows you to sort of look within. We're going to set these ones aside because I'm getting told to. And we are going to move to another deck here. So I got the 7 energies one. So this is the one we're going to draw from. This is the one that Spirit wants me to use for this read. And that one it wanted me to take it to. Interesting. A higher view. So this higher view, I gotta tell you what I feel in this card, because I am an empath, which is partly why I was drawn to this deck here. So I do feel the emotions of others, and I do sense other energies, and I do get them. That's part of how I read my cards. And I keep feeling like spirit's involved in here. So this is somebody's guardian. This is somebody's spirit guardian who's coming forward to send this message to them. I keep feeling like they're trying to give you a different point of view. They're trying to give you a new perspective, a higher perspective here. Wish upon a star. I keep getting this is tied to expressing artistic creativity. It's like these are things that are deep within your soul, and being able to express them, finding a way to express them, because I don't think you've done a lot of that in life. I think a lot of times you sort of kept a lot of shit to yourself, and I'm not sure why. Maybe you've been through situations where when you have expressed it, you've gotten some really negative results from other people, so you've learned to just sort of bottle it up, because I keep feeling like the weight from all of this. So that makes me feel like things are getting bottled up, and there's a real need to start releasing things. And I keep feeling that in this wish upon a star, more than, wishing upon a star, which is, what the card says. I feel more of a need to release a lot of heaviness that's been sitting inside. A need to sort of let go. Roots of abundance. And spirit of gratitude. Because I'll tell you, you do have a lot of things to be grateful for in life. You do have blessings around you. Doesn't mean life is absolutely perfect, but there are always things to be grateful for. I keep feeling like if we can shift on to what we're grateful for, it's almost like it sets down those roots of abundance, or it's like an energy shift, right? You go from feeling this real deep heaviness and having this, I do feel like it can be overwhelming at times. And being able to release that heaviness, it adds a freedom, and it opens you up for new blessings to come your way. It's like changing your energy and sending positivity out into the universe. And that does come back to us. That is part of our karma, guys. Oh, there we go. Tall tale. That's too funny. Because I pulled this card expressing artistic creativity. Like, I'm an artist, and I know some are too, but I kept getting from this something about journaling. I kept getting the word journaling. Like it would be helpful for somebody. I think somebody's supposed to sort of tell their story, and you might be telling it, like I said, like journaling through words. Or this may have to do with music, writing songs, writing music, painting. Whatever this is like, it's time to tell your story through your creativity. It's time to use that as a vent for what you've been through, for what you're going through, for the emotions that you're feeling. Smoke and mirrors. I keep feeling like if you can do this shift, if you can start embracing whatever this creative side is that you have, and using it to your advantage for an energetic shift and an energetic cleansing, I do feel like clarity comes from this. This is this higher view. This is like clarity. This is being able to release burdens. I do believe it's going to give you a chance to look back on certain things that you've been through in life with a fresh perspective, and to actually gain some clarity that perhaps you've been lacking and been wanting for a while. I keep feeling like things come clear. I'm being shown an image of, it's like things falling into place, everything just falling into place one after another. So it's like it helps things to make sense. Things that you've been through, things that other people have done to you, emotions that you felt. I keep feeling like it brings you that clarity. It helps it all to fall into place. We have great and full. So we got two cards now. Two cards now about being grateful, right? We have great and full, and we have spirit of gratitude. And these cards are very similar in meanings. That great and full is like looking at your cup as being half full instead of half empty. And I gotta tell you guys, a lot of times I kind of go the half empty way. That's one of the things that I struggle with in life. And I ran into somebody the other day who I worked with in my past job, and it was a pretty negative environment at that job. But this girl was always half full, and just being around her always put me in a better mood. And now I realize it's because I am an empath, so I would pick up on what other people were feeling around me, and it was no different with her. It was absolutely no different with her. And so I very much enjoyed being around her and working with her, because she always sort of, that spilt over, that half full view of looking at the world, it always spilt over. And I do feel like it's a very important thing. I do feel like it contributes to an energy shift on what comes to you when you're looking at things in sort of an optimistic way, or with positivity. You will find solutions to problems a lot easier than if you're looking at it like a, oh crap, this is not going to work, or, you can think of all the reasons why it won't work. If you're looking at it with that view of whatever it is, I can find a solution, you will find your way through it. You will absolutely find your way through it. And then I just got told by my guides that whatever this represents to you, this expressing artistic creativity, and I feel like this is going to be the crux of our read today, guys. Whatever this represents to you with your creative side, this is going to be where all of that comes out. It's like it makes everything clear. It allows for an energy shift. It allows for a new perspective. I keep feeling like the way that I look at the world changes from the way that I used to look at the world. And so that's Spirit's way of telling me is that this is what this means for you. And that's why Spirit's bringing it forward today and putting so much emphasis on it. Because Spirit sees what a difference it can make for you. And it is your guides that are coming forward today. It is your spirit guide. And I gotta tell you too, I keep getting told the word guardian. So this is a guardian as well. It's not just somebody who comes to guide you. This is somebody who looks out for you on the spiritual side. Endless possibilities. I will tell you too what I just got told when I looked at this card and touched this card. I just got told by my guides that this represents your future and what you can manifest for yourself in your future. But it comes with this energy shift. It comes with this shift of perspective. It comes with looking at the world with this spirit of gratitude and great and full, right? Like everything being half full, everything happening for a reason. Everything comes to us for a reason, even if we don't understand it at the time. It will make sense in the future. I keep feeling like this is where the big changes are going to come from. This is where the big changes are going to come from. I do feel like it has to do with what you will be manifesting in the world for yourself. Close encounters. I'll tell you too with this close encounters. Okay, a lot of times this card sort of represents our relationships with others. And maybe we're closed off or somebody's closed off. So there's one butterfly within the cage there. That's not what I'm getting told here. I'm getting told that these butterflies represent you and your guide and your guardian here. Spirit's been trying to contact you. Okay, so I don't know if you've been seeing animals around your home or animals behaving weirdly, or you're just seeing things. Like all of a sudden you look up and there's just the most beautiful rainbow or sundog. Or a specific cloud formation that you can actually see something within it. Or if you're having dreams, or if you're finding feathers or coins, your guide and your guardian is trying to get this message through to you. Okay, they've done it before today coming to tarot. Okay, they've been trying to get this message through to you for a while, but for whatever reason, most likely because you have this heaviness going on, you have not been able to hear the message. The heaviness is blocking it. Because that's the way it works sometimes with our intuition, guys, is when we have a lot of crap going on in our lives, or we have a lot of heaviness, it makes it really hard to hear what our guides are trying to tell us. So it's really important to be able to release a lot of those things, to find those emotional releases, those emotional outlets, to be able to let that energy go and cleanse our energy and balance our energy so that we can get in touch with our intuition again. Our guides can get in touch with us. Bearing fruit. And this bearing fruit card is all about starting to see the fruits of your labor. It's kind of like the Three of Pentacles here. It's like things starting to pay off. Things starting to bear fruit. I keep feeling like with this energetic change, with this channeling, with your story, on what you've been through and all of your emotions, and finding that outlet and being able to work through that all. I keep feeling like as you do that, it shifts the energy that you send out into the universe, and in return it shifts what manifests in your life and what you start seeing manifesting around you. beyond the ordinary. You do have psychic abilities. Now, I'm not saying, you're clairvoyant or you speak to spirits or something. You do have a degree of psychic abilities. Part of that is your empathic abilities, absolutely. So it's important to set those emotional boundaries so that you're not taking on the emotions of other people. It's also important to find an outlet so that you can release certain emotions and stay balanced, because being an empath, it's a lot harder to stay emotionally balanced because, like I said, you are taking on other people's energies, you're taking on other people's emotions. So it's like extra important for somebody who has empathic abilities to be doing this, to stay healthy and balanced beyond the ordinary. I also keep feeling like as you start doing this, like, it doesn't just change your emotional state, it doesn't just change what starts manifesting in your life and in your situation. I also feel that it ties into your empathic and psychic abilities too. And you do start to see a refining of those talents, and you do start to see them come in a lot stronger. A deep breath. And meditation or Reiki might be a good idea for you too. A deep breath. I keep thinking of like this, like, look at the card. I mean, it's just peaceful, right? It just speaks of peace. It speaks of cleansing. It's a great card. The art absolutely speaks to what this card is all about, is being able to relax, being able to take a deep breath, being able to release whatever is no longer working for you. I feel like I said, you keep getting in touch. You get in touch even more with your psychic side by being able to go through this process and do this. I gotta tell you, it's weird. I'm getting pulled to a third oracle deck. We usually don't use that many, but I'm getting pulled to it anyway. So we're gonna keep going here, and I'm gonna let Spirit pull forward what they feel like needs to come forward. Rites of passage. Oh, that's interesting. This card, I'm sorry guys, but this card is tied to your psychic abilities too. This is something that you need to learn how to do. To be able to get balanced, to be able to move on to the next step, to be able to refine your abilities and start using them to your best advantage and understanding them. This was something that inevitably you were going to have to go through at some point in time in your life. So it doesn't matter if you're younger and you sort of got to this message a little bit sooner, or if it's taken years and you've been through a lot of things and you're more mature coming to it now. It really doesn't matter. This was somewhere you were supposed to get to at the point in time when you were ready to do it. And this is that point in time. This is the point in time. You're supposed to bring forward this change in your life. This was, whatever this is, learning to channel this, learning to vent, learning to get balanced, and therefore shifting what you're manifesting in your life because you have this great energy shift. This is like, I keep seeing like there's two sides here. And then there's this moment in time in the middle. This is the moment in time in the middle when the change takes place. And then the way that you lived before, and the heaviness and the burdens and the things that were holding you back in the blocks, that becomes past. That becomes the way you used to live, the way you used to be. And once we've gone through this period in time and this change and transition, now it's a new chapter. And it's a higher vibrational chapter. And it's one that has a stronger connection to the higher forces, to your guides, to the universe, to the powers that be. I keep feeling like something beyond the veil, and you have a closer tie to it. You're like one step closer. And it feels like in an upward direction. So you're definitely ascending on your journey, being able to go through this. And I gotta tell you, I don't want to say mastering it, because I don't think we ever really master everything. I think, we're always learning. Everything is always learning, always evolving, always growing. And I feel like this is no different. This is just another piece of things you're supposed to learn to take that next step up and that next step forward to the next chapter. I'm getting pulled to my dragon cards here for my tarot deck. So I'm going to ask Spirit for some clarification on your read. Ooh, that one for sure. Keep going, Spirit. What do we got going on here? We have a few. That one. And I'm getting told that one had to come out too. But this is the one that I want to look at first. So the Eight of Pentacles, and it did fall out. It did fall out in reverse here, guys, this Eight of Pentacles. This is the Apprentice card. See, this is exactly like rites of passage. This was something you were meant to learn at some point in time. It was just kind of in your own time when you got to it. well, this is your time. Your guides are speaking to you. They're most definitely trying to speak to you through whatever means they normally do, but you have really had a hard time hearing it lately. So they have come to tarot today to help with this, bringing this message forward. 8 of Pentacles. It's time for you to learn. It's time for you to start honing your empathic skills and your psychic abilities. It's time for you to start manifesting all the things that you would like to have in your life. This is your time now. But it comes with learning. It comes with, like I said, I don't want to say mastery, but definitely getting more on top of these empathic abilities and being able to release emotions, not cleansing. It's a very important part of your journey. 6 of Pentacles, it is about balance, but it does speak to a generosity too. So this is like this empathic ability that you have, the psychic side to yourself, the psychic abilities, it is a gift. It is absolutely a gift. I know at times it probably does not feel like that, but it is absolutely a gift from the universe and from your guides. And it's important to be able to find balance within this gift. There's something about it too that's going to keep giving to you. And that's what I was feeling, why it's so important to be able to stay balanced and to start learning to express all of this and to do this energy shift and this energy cleanse, because it does change what you are physically manifesting in your life, and it does bring more positivity to you. It's like it keeps bringing in gifts, and you don't realize what a gift this is and the gifts that this gift can give until you start getting on top of this, and until you start going through sort of this transitional time. Because like I said, I keep seeing that life one way, going through our transition time with all of this, and then that next chapter, and then that next piece of things. It just changes everything, and they're like day and night. The 2 of Cups. So you do have to be cautious of your relationships with other people. You absolutely do. And taking on other people's emotions, or taking on other people's burdens, or overextending yourself in one way or another because you see that somebody's in need and your heart goes out to them. And a lot of times people who are empathic are very generous. You're wanting to help others because when other people are suffering, you feel that suffering yourself. So it makes you want to reach out, and it makes you want to help. And that is not a bad thing. And it's not, and I'm not saying you should stop doing that, but you need to be careful about who you're giving your energy to and how much of your energy that you're giving, and making sure that you're looking after yourself as well. Like it's not coming at the cost of. So somebody else, helping somebody else is not coming at the cost of you, right? 5 of Wands. 9 of Wands. I think you get pulled into crap too. I keep feeling from this 5 of Wands, a lot of times it can speak to competition, but I just see the one dragon who is absolutely surrounded and everybody's going at them. Everybody's going at them. So I think you find yourself in the middle of it, like all the time. Like everybody, I don't know if it's like you try and fix things or you try and step in and smooth shit over and help everybody sort their crap out, and then everybody turns on you. Because I keep feeling like everybody's turned on whoever this is. And it happens continually. You just wind up with the shit end of the stick. And I keep feeling like the intentions there are positive. So that's what made me think that you most likely try and help other people sort whatever they got going on out. But it just bites you in the ass. And I don't think all the time, but I do think it bites you in the ass, and you get some coming back at you. And the 9 of Wands, like, that's exhausting. That shit is absolutely exhausting. Dealing with that kind of attitude from people, or when you go out of your way and you're just trying to help, you're just trying to help make things better, and then everybody sort of turns on you, and somehow it's become your fault, or you're the bad guy. And I think it's absolutely exhausting. I think you are very much sick of it. Very much sick of it, and that's why Spirit's been speaking to you. This is why Spirit's coming to the cards today to deliver this message. It's time for a change. It's time for a change. It's time to break the chain of repeating cycles, right? It's time to start something new. It's time to start a new chapter and leave this behind and allow this to be part of your past, and something that you've been through and something that you've learned from. And everything does happen for a reason. Sometimes we repeat a lesson a couple of times before we really get it through. And we're all like that. Everybody goes through it in one way or another. King of Pentacles. I'm going to grab a couple more here before I dive into that King of Pentacles. Spirit, can you please give me more clarification on that King of Pentacles? Well, those two as well, it says. Okay. Oh, interesting. And then the Queen came right after. We got the King and the Queen of Pentacles. So this might be a pair of people who you're giving to, or this might be in relationships and romantic relationships where you're trying to make it work and you seem to be the only one giving. And somebody's just taking, because this Queen of Pentacles tends to be a very nurturing energy. And I do feel a softer, more nurturing energy from her. And she can be very empathic and she can be very generous. She has a lot of those qualities to her. I do feel this King of Pentacles, the energy that comes from this card is very, it's like one. It's like one and it's solid. So this tells me that this is somebody who focuses in on themselves and their success and what they're building, whereas this Queen of Pentacles is softer and the energy feels more spread out. So it's like she reaches her wings out and her energy out and she tries to gather as many as she can. She tries to help others. She spreads her nurturing energy, whereas this one conserves for themselves. And I feel in this energy someone who sits above too. So they like to be in charge. They like to be on the top of things. They just like to be the boss. So I would imagine that the Queen gets caught with the short end of the stick more often than not. The Eight of Wands. It does speak to swift change. It also speaks to communication too. See, and this is what we were getting back with here, right? Establishing emotional boundaries. That was our first card that came forward. It might be time for our Queen of Pentacles to take on her more masculine side and to start speaking that truth. Because feminine energies do tend to be softer. And we have the feminine and we have the masculine side, each and every one of us. And like I said, feminine energy is softer than masculine energy. And it may be time for this Queen of Pentacles to get more into her masculine side, her king side, and to be able to speak her truth. If she wants change in her life, if she wants change in relationships with others, and she doesn't want to keep feeling like she's the one who winds up getting burned at the end of the day, it may be time to start speaking a truth and being honest. I gotta tell you, it's not, I know it sounds easy when I see it in the cards. It's not. Relationships with other people are not easy. So I know this is not just like, oh, well, it's a simple fix if you just do this. No, I know this comes with a lot of change. I know it comes with a lot of effort. I know it comes with a lot of risk and a lot of scariness about perhaps somebody's going to react wrong and you're going to lose a connection that you very much value. I know there's a lot of fear within that. The Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is all about healing though. And it's like this healing transformation for a Queen of Pentacles cannot take place. Cannot take place until there's been this energy shift and this shift in this way of being, right? If you want something different or you want different results, then you have to choose different. Again, we're talking about, breaking the chain of repeating cycles, right? It's time for change. It's time for change. And there won't be that healing and that release and that balance until change comes. Two of Pentacles, again, is all about balance. All about balance. Sometimes it speaks to balance between finances and relationships, but there's definitely an imbalance here. And somebody keeps getting caught short because they're taking on everything for everyone else. They're always trying to help other people. They're always trying to make everyone else's lives better. And they give so much of themselves. And I keep feeling like it's become a pattern where maybe other people in their lives start just expecting it. Like, this is the dynamic, this is the way it is. Well, it's not working for somebody. And it's become extremely difficult. The Three of Swords. And the Six of Cups. And I think somebody's been sort of carrying this on. Like, I think this has sort of continued. The cycle has repeated. And I do feel like it's because of things that happened in the past. Like maybe someone stood up for themselves and they had a connection that mattered a lot to them, got pissy and walked away because of it, and it hurt. So they've been less likely to do that in the future because they're afraid of losing connections that they deeply care for. Because I keep seeing the Six of Cups, this is the past coming forward. But that does mean that this is a repeating cycle until the lesson has been learned. because we'll always repeat the same things until we figure it out, until we learn our karmic lesson or a universal life lesson there, and then we're allowed to move on to the next one. Ooh, we got a few that want to pop out here. That's the one. King of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and the High Priestess. See, I know this Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess are definitely tuned together, because that's what we already received in our oracle cards, right? As somebody is able to find these releases and to get in touch with themselves and their emotional side, on their psychic side, they do start to change what they manifest. And it does turn their Wheel of Fortune. It changes the physical things that manifest in their life. That King of Wands. He tends to be somebody passionate. He tends to be somebody ambitious. He definitely be somebody who's not afraid to speak his truth. And this may be a call for our Queen of Pentacles energy that's been a lot softer up until now, to take on this masculine energy, to take on this passion, to not be afraid to speak their truth, or to speak out when they feel like they're being taken advantage of. It's like Wands is all about that fire energy. It's like it's time to find your fire. Time to find your fire when it comes to setting boundaries with other people. Do not be afraid. You deserve to be treated with respect and dignity. Like I said, I keep feeling too, as this shift comes, so does the clarity on things that happened in the past, things that you did, things that other people did to you, situations that you were in, emotions that you had. I keep feeling like it brings the clarity that you haven't been able to see up until this point, and maybe you've been looking for or seeking, but it just hasn't come. That one too wants to come out. The Eight of Swords. Yeah, it's like haven't been able to see it. And you've been living this over and over and over again. It's time to find that clarity. And it's time to break free of the cycle and to move into something new. And the Seven of Cups, choices and choosing wisely. Because you can choose something different here. You can choose to contribute to different dynamics in relationships and to bring this dynamic to an end. Because this dynamic exhausts you. This dynamic takes too much of you. You take on too many problems from other people and other people's emotions, and it drains too much from you. It takes too much. The cost is too high. It's time to start giving back to yourself and making different choices if you're wanting different results. The Hermit. And the Hermit tends to be a lone figure, guys. And there's nothing wrong with spending time by yourself. Obviously, you don't want to isolate yourself. But I keep getting the connections that are worth keeping, the people that love you and the people that respect you. Even though they may get their dander up at first, they will understand you standing up for yourself. They will understand you making this change and finding your fire and not wanting this dynamic anymore, because they'll love and respect you enough to be able to respect what you're doing. And those are the connections worth keeping. And those who have hissy fits, you know, and those who threaten to walk away if they don't get their way, like little children, those are not relationships worth nurturing. Those are not relationships worth you giving your time and your energy and your emotion to. Those are draining relationships. And that's where this boundaries card comes in, and being able to set those emotional boundaries. The Queen of Cups, see, she is intuitive. And Cups also speaks to emotions. This time is about getting on top of these emotions, sorting through these emotions, and not being overwhelmed by them anymore. Instead of sort of, I don't want to say being controlled by them, but I do feel like at times it does. It does add to sort of what choices that you make in certain situations. This is like you being able to control that. You're getting back in the driver's seat. And you're being able to see, okay, you know, this is my abilities at work here. So this is not my emotion. I might be feeling, you know, sadness or depression or anxiety because somebody told me they're going through something. That's not mine. That's not my emotion. That's their emotion, and I'm taking it on, and I need to release that because that is their situation, and that's for them to find their way out of. That's not for me to fix. That's not my job to fix this person. This person, it's up to them to make their own choices. And so I need to be able to release these emotions and to let them go. The Knight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. I'm going to grab a couple more. Like the Ace of Cups, it is new beginnings. Cups is all about emotions. It's time for an emotional new beginning. And to be able to sort of find, like I said, find that balance. Draw those lines in the sand. This is what you need to have if you're going to have a relationship with somebody. They don't get to take advantage of you. They don't get to throw their troubles onto your shoulders. You know, they have to respect and they have to give. It's going to be that equal give and take. But I keep feeling like there's more to it, and it ties into your psychic abilities and being able to know the difference between what you feel and what someone else feels. And I feel like it keeps leading to more, and it leads to more. And when I say more, I'm being shown life changes and manifestations, like where you're living, or your career or financial success. So I don't know if this ties into a career that you go for. Maybe you make this into a career, whatever this creative outlet is in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe this gives you the confidence to go for something new, or to go back to school, or to reach some sort of a goal. But I keep seeing like it changes your life situation. It changes a lot of what goes on. It changes your dynamics in your interpersonal relationship with friends, families, lovers, all of them. And it changes it in a way that keeps you balanced and brings you inner peace. It's like needing to be able to speak that truth, not being afraid to speak that truth, not being afraid to speak up for yourself. Yeah, the Three of Wands, a new journey forward. Learning lessons from what we've been through in the past, and then leaving the past behind and venturing out into a new journey. And the Sun is all about blessings. The Sun is all about positivity. I just got told the word see the light. And it ties into smoke and mirrors. And it ties into the clarity that comes from this journey, from this lesson, from this transitional time. It's part of that mind shift. It's part of the emotional shift. It's part of your energy shift and coming into your psychic abilities. It's like everything shifts, and the way that you lived in the past, I just keep getting told it's the past. The past is the past. So it's like that piece of things and the way things were and what you had been through in those types of experiences. It's like that comes to an end, and now things change, and now we have something new. And we have something beautiful, and we have blessings, and we have inner peace, and we have balance and understanding. And I just keep feeling like an immense calm that comes along with the new chapter, because you have this new understanding and this new clarity. It gives you the courage and the ability to be able to make different choices and to choose a new path in life. And like I said, with that, it keeps manifesting different things for you, a different life path. And it might be different for each and every one of you who this read resonates with. I feel like it's very much based on, and I get pulled back to the card that's way underneath there, that's Wish Upon a Star. What it is you would like to have manifest in your life. And everybody has different dreams. But this is how you start to make those dreams come into a reality and become goal and start manifesting around you. It comes with this transition. This is not an overnight transition. It's something that you have to work at, but it's something that brings absolutely beautiful results in your life and brings one heck of a positive change moving forward. Alright guys, have a great rest of your day.